Welcome to the Fit Dad Nation podcast, forging strong fathers and raising a stronger generation. It's time to get up or shut up with your host, Steve Roy.
Hey guys, Steve Roy here, host of the Fit Dad Nation podcast. Welcome to the show. Thanks for listening. Before I get into the episode today, if you're a dad and you're listening to this show right now and you are not happy with some aspect of your health and your fitness, your body, your energy levels, your confidence, I am asking you right now to do something for yourself, do something for your family, and find help. And by help, it could be hiring a coach. It could be joining a community, something that's going to help you do better than you did yesterday. And for me, for us, in what I've noticed over the years running the Fit Dad Nation is men thrive in tribes. So find a tribe that works for you. We've got a great community. The Fit Dad Nation Inner Circle is our private membership community. A lot of great stuff going on. Guys are working really hard to make their lives better through health, fitness, and wellness. You can apply to the group at fitdadnation.com/inner circle. So today I want to share something that happened just last week, and this is kind of a moral of the story type of episode. And my hope is that it kind of opens your eyes to a couple of things. So, I am in great health. So I don't go to the doctor, other than routine checkups. I'm rarely sick, very, very few injuries, no health problems at all. My numbers are great. And so last week we were out on our boat. So we've had a boat for, about a month or so. We've been out a bunch of times. I don't get seasick, never have, doesn't bother me. But this particular day, I remember, we're driving along and, I'm driving the boat and I'm looking side to side, just checking the water. And I noticed that I'm feeling a little bit woozy, like, wow, that was kind of weird. When I would look to one side, then back ahead, I was kind of like, that was kind of a weird feeling. And so I just figured it was, just scanning the horizon, scanning the water line. It was fine. So a little while later, we decided to anchor up and we were doing some fishing, and it was very calm. We were in a little cove and there was really no waves or anything like that. And I'm up there on the bow fishing, and I lose my footing, and I just about fell into the water. And my girlfriend looks at me and is like, "You all right? Like, what was that?" So I don't know. I don't know. I lost my balance. It was weird. So I sat down and I said, "You know what? I'm getting a little dizzy. I don't know why. Maybe I had too much caffeine this morning because I had a couple of pre-workouts. So I had quite a bit of caffeine, but that wasn't really abnormal for me." And so I start sitting down, and next thing you know, I'm looking out at the water, and things just start spinning, like literally spinning. And I said, "Oh shit, this isn't good." So I kind of get down on all fours and pour some cold water on my head, take a sip of water, and I don't really know what's going on, but yeah, I'm sure it'll pass in a minute. And so a few minutes later, nothing has changed, and it starts getting worse. And so I'm like, all right, I'm just going to lay down here. So I lay on the boat, and we're at a spot here, even though we have a T-top on the boat, there was just no shade. So it was pretty hot, sun just beating on me, and I'm laying down, just trying to get my bearings because I'm spinning. And this went on for 45 minutes, probably closer to an hour. And finally, I figured it would pass, and my girlfriend's like, all right, listen, something's wrong. We need to call 911 because you're not getting better and you're actually getting worse. And, by this time, I'm flat out, and I can't even pick my head up because as soon as I do, everything starts spinning and I get extremely nauseous. And this has never happened in my life, ever. And so something's wrong. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my heart. I have no idea what's happening. All I know is it's freaking me out because it's not going away. And so, yeah, she calls somebody, and the next thing you know, I can hear this boat zooming in. It was a police boat, and they're chatting a little bit, and they escort her back to the dock. And all I can hear is all this commotion, sirens, And I'm like, great. I've got all this fanfare. I've got all this shit. Everyone's staring. People are having to pull their boats out of the dock. I'm like, God damn, this is embarrassing. This is terrible. And so, we pull up and I can hear everyone talking and I can't move. I can't get out of the boat. Like, it's that bad. And I don't know if you've ever experienced anything like this, but it was crazy. Like, there was just nothing I could do to feel better. So these two paramedics come on, pull me off the boat, walk me. Actually, they put me in a wheelchair, wheeled me over to the ambulance, which is sitting right there in the parking lot. And I'm in there for like an hour. They've got me hooked up to everything: EKGs, blood sugar, blood pressure, everything you think of. And they're not seeing anything wrong. Like, your numbers are perfect. We're not sure what's happening, but clearly you still can't function. You can't focus. You can't open your eyes, really. So something's wrong. You need to go to the hospital. And I'm like, yeah, oh man, this is nuts. So they're like, we should probably go to the hospital here, which we were in Baltimore, which is about an hour away from our house. And I'm like, I'm not going, we've got the boat, we've got a dog with us. Like, it's just not going to work. So we end up driving home, right? And I'm sitting in the passenger seat and I'm hurting bad. I mean, I am spinning. My stomach is in knots. Like, I just don't ever remember feeling this shitty. And so we finally make it like an hour and change. She had called ahead to the ER of the local hospital. They meet me outside with a wheelchair, wheel me right back in. I vaguely remember checking in, answering a few questions. Next thing you know, I'm in a room with a nurse and a tech, and they're taking all my vitals. They're setting me up for a CT scan and a chest scan, and so this goes on for 3 hours. I'm sitting in this ER here, and of course I don't want to be in the hospital right now anyway with all the COVID. There's people hacking. I can hear people, making all kinds of noises, and I'm like, get me the fuck out of here. And anyway, I can't even stand up to pee. Like, that's how bad it was, and my bladder was killing me because I hadn't peed in like 6 or 7 hours. I was dying, but I couldn't stand up enough to pee. And so, they run all these scans. Everything still looks good. And the doctor comes in. He's like, well, it's either, one of two things. It's either you had a stroke in your cerebellum, which is the base of your brain, like the back of your brain, or it's something to do with your inner ear, where you've just basically have vertigo or some kind of equilibrium loss for whatever reason. So they basically ruled out the stroke, not completely, but they said, given your other symptoms and you still have your strength, and it's a very, very extreme long shot that's related to a stroke. It's most likely inner ear. So after 3 hours, they gave me some meds, some anti-dizzy meds, which I did start to feel better. And I went home late that night and I still felt terrible. Like, I got out of the car and I took a step and just about fell over on my face, just because I had no sense of balance at all. And so this went on for days. So this happened, like I said, last week. I'm now starting to feel better, but this went on for like 4 days where I was just battling dizziness, a little bit of nauseousness, but not much. That had gone with the pills. And so we went to see my primary care doctor. She said the same thing. I don't know what to tell you. Your numbers look good, except, it's probably something to do with your ear. Go see somebody about that. So, yep, of course I did that. And that was yesterday. Went to see this physical therapist who specializes in inner ear disorders and therapy. And from what I had heard and what people were saying, sounded like they called them crystals. I forgot what they're called, but something inside the inner ear where basically these crystals get displaced and can throw off your balance and equilibrium. And so I was assuming that's probably what it was. And so when I went to see her yesterday, she did all these tests for me and said, nope, it's not that, because there's a couple different reasons. But I said, what the hell's wrong with me? She said, I just don't know. My guess is it possibly had like just an acute viral infection in your inner ear, which is crazy to me. But whatever, you never know. But there's nothing I can do. If you have symptoms again, I can treat them, but since you're not dizzy at the moment, there's nothing I can do. So, after how many doctors, how many visits, how many hours, I still don't have an answer as to what was wrong. And, my hope is that it was a completely 100% random and has nothing to do with anything else other than just dumb luck. That's my hope. But again, I have no idea. I'm absolutely speculating. And so the reason I shared this in my private groups. I did not make this public, but I shared this in my private groups, and some guys had some similar experiences, either themselves or with their spouses or friends that had gone through something similar. And, they know what an absolutely horrible experience it is, because if you don't have your balance and the world is spinning, you can't function at all. So I had to cancel all my clients. I had to do, I had a bunch of stuff set up that I had to cancel. Yeah. And it's just random. And so, my thought was, if something is seriously wrong, I mean, this is scary stuff. I'm just turned 49, and it's not uncommon. It's not like it's super rare that a 49-year-old man, with the amount of stress that I have, drops dead from something like this, whether it's heart, whether it's brain, whether it's blood related, clot, whatever. That's not that uncommon. People die all the time. And so, yeah, I mean, it scared me because, I'm thinking, I've got so much to live for. I've got 2 young daughters still, and I'm going to fucking die here on this boat. Like, this is not how life should be. Like, it shouldn't end this way. And I felt completely powerless against it because, I'm like, even though I take precautions, I take care of myself, I drink a lot of caffeine, pre-workouts. I've really kind of abused my body in the past, especially when I was going through my divorce, but especially with caffeine, energy drinks and stuff like that. I have just had a massive amount over the years, just tons. And I'm just thinking, okay, my body finally has said, fuck you, Steve. This is it for you. You've just had too much, your liver, your kidneys, whatever else is struggling too much in here. This is going to be it for you. And so, yeah, it's a terrifying experience. And, it turned out, from what I'm gathering so far to be not a life-threatening thing, which is always good. I don't know for certain, but, from everything that I've heard so far, but the point with me sharing this, I'm not looking for, sympathy or anything like that. What I am trying to do is just get everybody that's, listening to this show, just to give you a reminder of literally, we have no idea when our last day is. And so many guys are just not doing the things that they have control over, that they know will help their health. But instead, you're pounding sodas, you're drinking a lot of alcohol, you're eating a lot of crappy foods that are bad for you, and you're getting fatter by the year, and the risks associated with being obese or overweight and carrying a lot of belly fat, carrying a lot of extra fat for years, having little muscle mass, and just not taking care of your general health. Right? Those are all things, for the most part, that we have control over and that you can certainly have a huge influence over. Yet we're not doing it, right? I mean, I don't have to tell you. I mean, it's extremely common to see guys in their 30s and 40s that are just way out of shape, not even close to being healthy. And yeah, it's not serving them. It's cutting their life short in essence, and it's affecting your family. I mean, I want you to think about that. The thought of me checking out now terrifies me, not because I don't want to die necessarily, but because I don't want to leave my kids behind. And I don't want to miss out on all the things that I want to see them as they grow up and finish high school, then go to college and get married, have families, and all those things. That's at the very, very top of my list of things that I absolutely find most important in my life. And if I'm not around, obviously I can't see that, and that thought terrifies me and keeps me going, keeps me healthy, keeps me making better decisions when I don't really want to. Because this is a very humbling thing. Here I am, fit, healthy, teaching other dads how to live fit and healthy, and here I am on all fours on a boat, just feeling like, I felt like an 80-year-old man. Just my body was giving out, and I just had no control over it. And so, I want all of you that are listening to this to seriously just think about that. Next time you go to put something in your mouth, next time you decide to sit on the couch instead of do something active, just think of your family. Like, what do you want out of your life? What do you want to see for your kids? What do you want to leave for your wife and your legacy? I mean, if it's not important to you, I mean, you probably listened to the wrong show, but I think every man listening to this wants the best for themselves and their family, right? And you can't be the best father, husband, man, employee, business owner, whatever that you can be if you're not taking care of yourself first. It just doesn't work like that. You can't achieve optimally if you're not taking care of yourself. And I know this because I've lived on both sides, on far ends of the spectrum. I didn't take care of myself at all for years, many years, and I suffered. I wasn't the best husband. I wasn't the best father. I definitely wasn't the best employee. And it took a lot of wake-up calls and, going through a divorce for me to turn things around and decide that I can only be the best when I'm taking care of myself the absolute best way I can. And so, yeah, everything in my life has become much better, and I'm in a much better place physically, mentally, emotionally, and my relationship with my kids is far better, far more connected to them now that I feel really good inside and out. And that's my message to you today, guys, is please, if nothing else, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to pitch anything other than please take care of yourself first. It's not selfish. You absolutely have to take care of yourself first. Put your health as number one. Everything else will follow you. I promise you'll be better for it. If you have any questions, you want to share something, you can reach out to me anytime, steve@fitdadnation.com. I appreciate you listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, if you want more information, check out the Fit Dad Basecamp group on Facebook. And don't forget to stop by fitdadnation.com. Until next time, keep kicking ass and taking the next step. You can do this, Dad.